yeah, so my rap sheet's long from kind of teenage years. But then at 16 after kind of going to county lines and doing all kind of stuff, decided I'm gonna turn my life around, and I came here. So my name's Amani Simpson. I am a storyteller, an entrepreneur, and a youth coach. I run an organisation called AVIARD Inspires, which empowers young people through personal development, enrichment opportunities, and digital media. And today we are at my college that I'm a trustee of, called Big Creative Academy, and we are going to see some young people present their media projects, because I was working on a project with the Canal River Trust, and we gave them an industry brief to give them some work experience. And the winning group is going to win £1,000. Growing up, it was initially really loving. Like, I'm my parents' miracle child. So they gave me everything. That kind of showered me with everything that I needed. But unfortunately, when I stepped into the school system at the age of 5 in year 1, I wasn't really met with that same kind of love. I was quite a sensitive and soft young boy. And going into a school in Edmonton, North London, where a lot of the other kids weren't necessarily like that, I struggled and I was bullied and was kind of isolated from my peers. And as I went through school, I just started to try and fit in with people that didn't necessarily have the best intentions for me. And yeah, it got me into a lot of trouble and built up a reputation, and that followed me all the way through school. Started to believe it about myself. And so by the time I got to secondary school, I got expelled in year 9 for starting a fire in my maths room and stealing my deputy head teacher's wallet. So I was just on stupidness. I didn't even need to do it really, but you know, bad habits and stuff. And yeah, growing up, I was really influenced by things that I saw on TV. Although I had a really strong role model at home in my dad, I would look to rappers like 50 Cent or Ja Rule, or I'm just trying to think of names, even some of the grime artists. And that kind of started to kind of form my mindset about myself and what I saw success as a black man kind of being. So yeah, again, you know, kind of took me down a road where I started to change my character and tried to fit in with some of the man them that were doing certain things, and it just got me into more trouble. Yeah, so my rap sheet's long from kind of teenage years, but then at 16 after kind of going to county lines and doing all kind of stuff, decided I'm going to turn my life around. Then I came here, and when I walked into the room, I had a mentor called Fusion, or a teacher called Fusion, and he was the first black teacher I'd seen, and he just saw something different in me and empowered me to really find my confidence, find my voice, and yeah, just sent me on a really positive path. So that was my upbringing. I'll stop there because there's loads, but that's my upbringing. Do you know, I was scared, honestly. Like, I nearly got arrested, and I'm a firm believer in God. And I had sold some drugs to somebody, and I heard this voice that was like, don't put the drugs in your plastic bag, put them down your trousers. And I remember listening and being obedient to that. And as soon as I'd kind of gone to go and lick the next shot, police had come around the corner and basically searched me. And if I hadn't done that, I would have gone and been arrested. And again, I'm summarizing my story. Like, I made a short film about it, so a lot of the things that I speak about are in that film. But yeah, that was the turning point for me, because I realized I'm scared. Like, this isn't the environment that I want to be in. So for me, mentoring was really pivotal to my change. So when I came off the roads and came here, my teacher became my mentor. He was my first male like black male role model kind of thing, in that sense, in school and education. And he just took me under his wing. And so I pay forward the kindness and the empowerment that he gave me to other young people, because I know the value of having someone that you can look up to, that you can relate to, that you can be honest with. I know the value of that. I've seen it. It's changed my life. So yeah, I just pay it forward to the next generation. That's yeah, just part of my mission. And honestly, I don't really look for anything back. Like, the main thing is I just want to look in one day and see you doing amazing things, you know, because that's what it is. You know, it's not about, yeah, big me up and stuff. Forget that. Like, just as long as in that moment I was able to empower and light your flame. Like there's a saying that talks about when you light a candle, it doesn't, when you light multiple candles, it doesn't take the flame out. Yeah, so mentoring is so important. From my own life, I've seen the values and the benefits, but I think for the kind of individual, for the young person, it's just having someone that's consistent. It's having someone that they can open up to, that can give them that kind of insight from their own story. And I think mentoring is really about having a lived experience. I think you can mentor in theory, but it's really a lot more impactful when you can relate to the person that you're connecting to. And yeah, mentoring it should be for everybody. I think everyone should mentor because it's that kind of each one teach one, iron sharpens iron type of mentality. And yeah, in the next generation, I think if they don't have access to mentors and role models, then people that don't necessarily have their best interests are going to be influencing their mindset, and that's a dangerous place to be. So AVIARD Inspires was set up to empower young people through digital media, personal development and enrichment activities, such as work experience and yeah, just creative projects and stuff like that. And AVIARD is about 12 years old. Like the vision, I had it when I was kind of coming out of college, and I initially had this idea of like go hard entertainment, like, you know, like this, like, you know, this whole kind of, yeah, man, like we're hard and all that, you know, when you're younger. And I was like, that doesn't sound like a brand. It doesn't sound like it can scale. And I thank God, because I'm so glad I didn't go hard entertainment. But yeah, like I started doing events and stuff like that when I was younger, which is basically what I studied in college. And then, yeah, it's just scaled over the years, lots of different hurdles and challenges, but now we're a community organization. And yeah, I just live to serve young people and just to empower them. So yeah, we make movies, we do school workshops, assemblies, lots of collaborative projects. Like I've just started a project with Goldman Sachs and Hogan Lovells. I've done work with Anthony Joshua. Yeah, like just serving wherever young people are at the end of delivery and service and projects, shout me, that's what we're on, kind of thing. So I would say the sweet spot for us is kind of that 15 to 19 age. Sweet spot, do you know what I mean? Where it's kind of, especially for me, where in my own story, that was the age that I kind of took control of my life. And I think it's important to work with young people at that stage when they start thinking about, actually, I want to be more productive, especially as they're starting to leave school and they want to reinvent themselves. So I call that the sweet spot. It's like, you know, especially after a young person's maybe had a little bit of a mistake or something in their life, and they're like, yeah, you know, actually, I'm not on this no more. That's when we come in and say, here you go, here's something productive. You know, they can put down knives, guns, drugs, whatever, but if you don't put something in their hand, they're going to go straight back to it a lot of the time. So yeah, that's the kind of sweet spot. Just started a new project with Goldman Sachs and Hogan Lovells called the Amani Project. And the reason we called it the Amani Project is not solely just because it's about me or anything like that. Amani means peace in Swahili and hope in Arabic. And that's what we want to help give young people and empower them. And while we're doing that, we're, you know, giving them employability skills and giving them access to a professional mentor from a leading law firm and a leading bank. And yeah, we did a taster day the other day that we promoted and had a really good response. But now it's about working with the first cohort of young people to really start kind of tailoring this project so that it can scale. Because again, when you start an idea, there's no point in going boom, 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 and it doesn't work. You start small, make sure it works, refine it, and then scale it. So yeah, that's one of the projects we're working on. Also, I've got a short film that's in the locker that's going to come out later on this year. So my first kind of, my directorial debut, my writer debut. I'm excited about that, called Save Me. So I don't know when this is going to come out, but maybe it'll be out by then. But yeah, excited, just loads of different projects, everything to do with young people's empowerment, uplifting them, giving them hope, giving them opportunities. And the next thing is I'm going into tech. So when the time's right, I'll tell more about that. But that's what I'm working on right now. Well, that's it. For me, I've just discovered that I'm only one man. Yeah. And systems need to be put in, well, yeah, but systems need to be put in place. Yeah. And, you know, when you put systems in place, then you're able to scale and you're able to reach more people, able to have a wider impact. I saw it with my short film. We created one short film and that reached 3.7 million people by God's grace. So if you can create one platform and that platform can serve multiple people internationally, wherever, that's a blessing. So I think that's where we need to get to when we're talking about impacting young people. Like the internet, we're in the internet age. So why try and keep it local when young people's minds are global and they're seeing things from all over the world? Do you remember back in the day, you used to try and get like CDs and mixtapes and stuff from America and you were like 6 months behind. Now, one artist drops this, it comes out the same day over here, you get it at the same time. So yeah, man, have to adapt. Leaders like me, man, that feels like a pretentious question. Do you know, I'm just a human being. Like I'm just trying to play the position that I feel like I need to play in my community. Leaders in general, I would say, are needed because we are pioneers, or pioneers in general. We are bold. We do things that kind of move the needle. We're not afraid to come up for criticism or put our head up a bit above the kind of water and say, look, we're going to try something new. So I think that's important because then people start following and talking about, yeah, I want to try and do that, and you give people hope. So I think in general, it's important for there to be leaders in general within the community, and I just want to big up a few of the leaders. So I want to big up my brother Sace Holmes Lewis. I want to big up my brother Farron Amnesty, or Farron Faz Amnesty, should I say. My brother Robin Travis. There's so many brothers doing great things. There's so many I could mention. Craig Pinkney, Stephen Oram that runs Proud and Gifted. There's so many great men and women. There's loads of women within the community that are doing amazing things. So there's leaders all around, and I think young people are blessed. The young people that are looking, they're blessed with such a variety of amazing young people that they can look up to. Now it's about amplifying their work and their stories. I feel like it's super important to try things when you're younger. I think there's this culture of rushing and trying to do everything before a certain age, but I turned 32. I turned 32 on Saturday, and I'm only now just starting to come into my purpose. I spent the whole of my 20s trying different things, and yes, I've learned things, but I've also made mistakes, and I think that's important. So I would just say to young people, like, don't rush. Like, Instagram kind of gives you this whole microwave mindset that you need everything. Bing, I need it now. But anything worth having takes time. And yeah, just take your time, ask lots of questions, try and surround yourself with people that are going to empower you and challenge you. And in the long run, because this is a marathon, not a sprint, you will fly. That's the goal. So I'm on Instagram, my name Amani.Simpson, or you can check out the AVIARD website, which is aviard.co.uk. I'm all over the place. My head's down at the minute, just in the lab building and stuff. But yeah, when the time is right, I make noise. So I think there's a lot of negative connotations around young people, simply because the media like that narrative, I think, a lot of the time. I think it suits a wider agenda, without getting into conspiracies and stuff. But generally, we need to own our narratives. We need more platforms like Proud and Gifted, where we celebrate young people's achievements. We need more platforms that are able to, just showcase the amazing work that young people, like, not every young person's carrying a knife, but if you watch the news, you would think every young person carries a knife, is on trying to stab someone. So many young people, they like gaming, they like maths, they like music, swimming, but you don't see that variety. And I think young people need to see that a lot more in order to know that there are other options. There are other people like them, and they don't have to just fall into a particular line. So yeah, it's one of the reasons I'm building my tech platform, just to kind of, amplify that, because it's something that people have been saying for generations, but now we've got the technologies to do it. So I'm gonna give it a shot.